Hey, so let's jump right in here. Passport DC was May 13th of 2023. During the day, we were able to visit 4 different embassies, and I'm going to kind of step through with you here what we did. All right, so here's the Passport DC page, and I will link all of these pages in the description. If you want to know more about it, it's basically just a day. Actually, there's 2 days, I believe, through the year, May 6th of this year, 5th and 6th, and then we went to May 13th, where they open up us many of the DC embassies for visits. You don't need a passport. Actually, you did not even need identification to get into the embassies that we visited. So you can check out this page here if you want to learn more. But they really do have it set up great. So the one on the 13th this year was the EU open house. So they have on this page all of those embassies listed out, and then a little description of everything that's going on at each of those embassies, of course, along with the address of each. But what you really need is the map of each. So they've actually made a Google map that shows you each of these embassies. So what you can do, you can actually combine that map with the DC Metro map and come up with a Google Earth map. So that's what you see here. You can see the embassies marked on the map, and then the different color lines of the metro marked on the map. So what you'll kind of come up with, if you zoom in here, you'll see there's a little cluster, and this is the cluster we visited: Spain, Lithuania, and Poland, up here near Columbia Heights. So we took the green line to the Columbia Heights metro, and it's a very short walk, maybe 5 minutes down to that area. And then the other big cluster of embassies is down here near DuPont Circle. So, of course, there's a metro station down there as well. And one of the locations we visited down there was the Greece embassy, and that's on the map here somewhere. There it is right there. So what we ended up doing was actually just walking from Columbia Heights down to this DuPont Circle area, and I'll show you that on the map here in a moment. So if you need to get to any of these other embassies, you're either going to have to Uber or walk, especially like out here at the France and Germany embassy. That's quite a walk, and there's really no metro close to that. So Ubering or just putting on a good pair of shoes is your best bet. Okay, so here is our basic route that we took. We got to the Columbia Heights Metro. It's a short walk, maybe 5 minutes over to the Embassy of Spain. Got there at 9:37. We were the second group in line. So things opened at 10, and we stayed there for about 40 minutes. I'll show pictures later. From there, it's a very short walk over to the Embassy of Lithuania, and that was also at that point in time a rather short line, about 10 minutes, and we stayed there for about half an hour. From there, we ended up walking over and having an early lunch at Federalist Pig. All of these very, very short walking distances from one another. Then walked back to the Embassy of Poland, where we waited in line there for quite a while. And then spent about probably 25 minutes or so inside of that embassy. And at that point, we kind of had a decision to make. It was, hey, do we leave or do we walk down toward the DuPont Circle area? So we ended up taking the walk. It was a 30-minute walk. I'm jumping around here a little bit, but here we go. 30-minute walk downhill. That's important. It was a lot easier, I think, walking down to DuPont Circle than it would have been walking back up. So we waited in line at Embassy of Greece for about 30 minutes, and then I did not actually go in that embassy. My family did, and they were in there for about 10 minutes while I waited across the street. And then we went down to DuPont Circle and headed out for the day. So that was our basic route, and you can see our times there, about 3 o'clock. So things close at 4. So I think that's probably about all you could get in a single day. Maybe one more embassy we could have done. Okay, so let's jump back here then and look at the embassies, each of them. So what was it like once we got into the Embassy of Spain? It was a rather large area. They were serving wine, taste testing wine and some meats and beer. You can see the speakers here. They had a lot of music. It was basically like a big party, very loud in there, a lot of fun. So you can see, pretty crowded. It got even more crowded as the day went on. This is the free meat tasting, and then they did have food for sale over in this area, maybe $8 to $12 for various food. Here you can see a view of the inside. They had some military history exhibits. Here's the free little sample of beer. And then from there, we moved on to the Embassy of Lithuania across the street. We really enjoyed that place. So their security was a little more strict in examining your items, but it was really not that big of a deal. So once you get in there, it's a beautiful place, beautiful building, great people. They were just very, very nice and friendly. A lot of history and food. They had some food there. All of these embassies seem to have some sort of food. For Lithuania, this buckwheat tree cake was actually the coolest thing. They had little samples of that available, which you can see here, and then some other samples as well. So it was really, really nice. We really enjoyed the Embassy of Lithuania. So from there, we went and ate lunch at Federalist Pig. All I'll say about that is the food was great. It took quite a while, though, for us to get our food. I'm not sure. It looked like maybe they were getting a big order out, catering order or something. Maybe that was the issue. But yeah, the food was pretty good. So then from there, we walked back to the Embassy of Poland, and the line was really long. But we decided to wait in it, and everyone's nice and friendly, and things were kind of organized, and it really worked out great. So we waited in line, went into the embassy. There were a lot of exhibits and actually speakers talking about Polish explorers. So that was here you can see a speaker talking in one of the rooms. And then they had kind of some open areas in the embassy as well. And then this really cool balloon area filled with balloons. And they had some free water. And then here you can see some bowls of candy. Of course, it was Poland. They had pierogies. They were delicious. Here's another room of the view of the balloon room. So really neat. So from that point, we headed down to the Embassy of Greece, waited in line for 30 minutes. It was just kind of a room with some paintings. They had some, I think, some snack Dorito bags and I think maybe some waters or something, but really not a whole lot. So my wife and son were in and out of there in about 10 minutes. And then from there, we headed to DuPont Circle and back home. So that was our day at the Passport DC. So would I go visit this again? Absolutely. Next year, we will be heading to the EU Open House and maybe even the other open house weekends that they have. It's really cool. The people are nice. The lines are long, but everyone is so pleasant and so just fun to be around in the embassy. Like I say, just not even just in the embassies, but the people waiting in line. It's a really cool event. And if you want to check out some of the other content on my channel to kind of get some context of who I am in relation to that statement, please feel free to do so. But it's very welcoming, cool environment. Really enjoyed it.